evening. Welcome to Trailblazing Tuesdays with Latresa. I am your host, Latresa Rice, your certified mindset coach. I help bereaved Christians regain hope by rediscovering their identity and healing through writing. Listen, let me know who's in the room. If you are in the room and you've said to yourself, listen, I know that I need to write my story, put a heart, put a purple heart in the box so I know that you're here. If you're in the room and you're like, I don't even know if I need to write my story or not, but I like the content, I'm here to see what's going on. Put a question mark in the box. Hey, just let me know you're present. If you are catching us on replay, put hashtag replay in the comment box just so I know and I can greet you later on. Again, I am Latresa Rice, your certified mindset coach. I help bereaved Christians regain hope by rediscovering their identity and healing through writing. Today, we are talking about the fact that it's time to plant. The previous session, we discussed what the P stands for in the word plant, which stood for prepare for what you desire, right? So now that you have already done the work to prepare for what you desire, today we're discussing the L in the word plant. Now, I'm going to tell you what it stands for. Hold on, wait. Give me one moment. I have it. I'll tell you what it stands for. But I'm just excited to be before you all. So let's just jump right into it. How about it? How many of you know that you have been called to either write your story or you've dealt with a loss that it just seemed like you just were not going to get over that thing. It just seemed so heavy and so hard that you couldn't see your way out. I've been there. I remember the pain when my grandmother passed and the pain when my late husband passed from COVID-19. I remember it being so dark and so heavy that I didn't know when I was going to get out of that thing. However, I just proclaimed that I was getting out of it. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to act as if everything is completely over with because grief is a process, right? So it's okay if you are going through your process and you have moments, and you're still saying, you know what? I'm ready to still walk this thing out. I'm ready to do what I'm called to do because there are people who are waiting for the story that only you can provide. So today, I want you to put in the comment section L-learn your craft. Today, we are discussing learning your craft. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, what do you mean by that? Learn my craft. What's my craft? If I've never written my story, I don't know how's that my craft? Listen, if you're being led to do so, and you know you have a story to tell, and you know that there are people who are dealing with what you dealt with, who can use the solutions that will be in your story, it's important for you to take the time to learn what it means to actually write your story. How do you engage in character development? Although it is your story, the different individuals in your story are actually characters that will be in your book. If you choose to write an autobiography or a biography, they will be in your book, right? You need to learn how to do that. Well, how do I learn my craft? I'm glad you asked. One thing that you can do to learn your craft is you can research. There, you can go on Google and do some research, or you can join some of the Facebook groups where people are aspiring to write. You could also pay attention to some of the different lives. Even I've posted a few. Another way that you can learn your craft is you can get Audible books. You can go ahead and download an Audible book. And the aspect of learning your craft is going beyond just writing your story. If you're talking about learning your craft, you need to know what are the different areas in this industry. You need to know what are some strategic ways you can actually host your book release. Because when you're writing your story, you have to look beyond just the writing of it. It's so much more to that. If you're writing your story, that means you desire more and more people to receive those solutions that are in the story that God has given you to birth through writing. And if you need to get that message to more and more people, how are you going to do that? If you've never written your story before, and you've never, some of you, if you've never started a business or anything like that, then we have to learn our craft. A part of that learning your craft is research. Another aspect of learning your craft, and you're talking about research, is actually talking to people who've done it. It's important to surround yourself with people who've done what you desire to do. Not just those who've done what you desire to do and maybe they've excelled, but you could also learn something from those who've done what you desire to do and maybe it didn't go so well. Because those are some clues and tips that you can use to avoid those pitfalls that they have actually fallen into at that time. So with the L, again, we're putting L dash learn your craft. That's very important that you learn your craft. Now, if I'm learning my craft, that means I need to train, right? So in this area, we're discussing learning your craft. Let's talk about what it means to train. The T in the word train stands for take note of all resources available to you to learn. For example, if you know that I'm not really that great of a writer, there are resources available that you could just speak into and they will write the book for you. There are resources available where people can transcribe what you spoke. There's so many different things available to you. You just have to connect with the right people and the right information. All right. So T dash take note of the resources that are available to you to learn. All right. So if I'm going to learn my craft, I need to train. The first letter in the word train stands for take note of the resources available to you to learn your craft. Let's go to the next spot, y'all. Y'all ready to go? Let's go. The next letter in the word train that indicates what we need to do if we're learning our craft is R. R stands for relinquish the need to control the outcome. Listen, your message is a seed. Now, of course, you desire to reap a harvest, right? And the likelihood of you doing so is high the more seeds you're planting, okay? But when you step out of position of sowing the seed or out of position of giving the wisdom of that word and you're so focused on making a sale, you're going to miss the mark. It's not about a sale. It's about lives being changed through the written word that God is giving you to share. So make sure you relinquish the need to control the outcome. God is the one who controls the outcome. He knows who needs what you have to offer. And as long as you're presenting that to them and the way in which they can receive it, they will come. But as long as you attempt to control the outcome, you're going to find yourself stressed out. You will find yourself worried. You will find yourself questioning whether or not this is something you're supposed to do. If God has called you to it, then you're empowered to do it. So the second thing in the word train, again, we're learning our craft. In order to learn our craft, we need to train. So the second letter in the word train stands for R, which means relinquish the need to control the outcome. The third letter in the word train is A, and that stands for aim to fail big. Put in the comment section, aim to fail big. Some of you are doing things that you just know are within your power to do, and it keeps you stuck. You know you can write one sentence per day, and so you write your one sentence per day, but you don't do anything to stretch yourself beyond what you're comfortable with. You need to aim to fail big, because as you're aiming to go after that big thing that you think you can't do, for example, maybe it's landing a contract with a traditional publisher. Go after it. Fail big and fail often. Fail now. The bigger the goal, the greater the chance of you actually doing way beyond what you ever imagined. The bigger the goal, the more involved God is in this process. You can handle the little itty bitty things you're trying to do. Be willing to stretch yourself. Fail big. Go after that big thing. What would be a big thing for you? What is it that you think in your mind, look, I can't do this by myself. The only way that this is going to happen, I need some interaction. I need God to take over. What is that big thing? Is it a platform? Is it speaking engagements? What is the big thing that you can go after? Go after the big thing, right? Go after it often. Don't just do one time. Go after it often. Go after it often, because what you will find is some of those things that you go after that you think is beyond your reach, you'll get a yes. And now you can celebrate because you went beyond your comfort zone. Comfort zone can be a dead zone for many of us. We got to step out of it. All right, so we talked about the T, we talked about the R, we talked about the A in the word train. And again, if we're going to learn our craft, we're dealing with the L in this P.L.A.N.T series, right? Learn your craft. In order to learn your craft, you have to train, which means you have to T, take note of all the resources that are available to you to learn. You have to R, relinquish the need to control the outcome. You have to A, aim to fail big. And then next we have to I, instruct someone else using the information that you learn. Instruct someone else using the information that you learn. That's important. One thing about learning information, when you can teach it to somebody else, you definitely know that thing. And the more you're teaching it to somebody else, the more you're retaining and remembering that information, and you're more likely to utilize it because you want to show them how. So I instruct someone else with the information you learn. Now we're going to our last thing, y'all. Be ready? Because we're training. We're going to the last thing. I want you to put an N in the comment box. N dash never give up. In order to never give up, you have to remember why you started this. Why? Your why will help carry you when everything else is too heavy to move forward. Why did you start this path of writing your story? What is the significance of it? Who are you trying to reach? Why do they need the information that you have to offer them? What would be the consequence if they don't get the solutions that you have to offer in your story? Never give up. I hope this has blessed you. Listen, woo, y'all not ready for what I'm about to tell you. I am hosting a Clarity in the Pen conference, October 6th through 8th. It is taking place at the Hilton Gardens near the airport. You'll get more information about that, but you do not want to miss your opportunity to be at the conference. We have 7 power pack sessions. I have a forgiveness coach that will help you. Those of you who are maybe dealing with grief, for those of you who just want to move past some of the things you've dealt with, we have a forgiveness coach that will be present. For those of you who desire to have a chapter 2, let's say you lost your wife or you lost your husband and you're ready to start anew, there's a relationship strategist that is coming forth with a power pack segment. We also have a dynamic speaker that will be coming forth to show you how to market the book. Before you even launch that book, you could be doing marketing. There's so many different tools and tips that he will share. And also we'll be going on how do you write your story. There's a session on that. There's so many different things. There's a mindset session, and there's a session regarding how to creatively fund your book release and so much more. As a part of the Clarity in the Pen conference, we have a writer's ball. Now, you get admitted free to the writer's ball if you pay to attend the conference. To attend the conference is only $599. If you are ready to register today, I will give you a code in which you can get 20% off, but you have to register. The first 10 people that register will be able to use that code. Otherwise, it's going to block you out. If you're someone that's watching this live and you say, you know what, I'm not ready to write my story yet, but I like the writer's ball, I may want to come to that. At the writer's ball, we will be dressing up in costumes of book characters from stories that we enjoy. Some of us, we used to read comics. So maybe we like Marvel characters, DC comic characters. Some of us may have read like the Nancy Drew books or the different books. I know like Sherlock Holmes, things like that. Different books that you may have read. You will dress up as that character and come to the writer's ball. We are going to have a party, dance, and just dine like royalty. If you would like to come to the writer's ball, but you're not ready to receive the power pack information that's taking place at the conference, then there is a separate fee that you can pay to attend the writer's ball with us. There are only a few slots available for those who want to come to the writer's ball only. If you want more information about that, you can visit royalclarityview.as.me. Clarity in the Pen conference is listed there, and also a separate link for the writer's ball for those who are not planning to attend the conference. Again, if you're planning to attend the conference, your admission to the writer's ball is already included in your rate. If you're not planning to attend the conference, you have to select the writer's ball area just to attend the party. I hope this has blessed you. Have an amazing night, and I look forward to seeing you all again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.